I am David Beckman. I served as president of the Iowa State Bar Association between 1998 and 1999. I was interested in serving the ISBA because I felt there was a need for more representation from the counties outside of the Des Moines metro area, from towns like Burlington, Council Bluffs, Sioux City, and Dubuque, and the rural areas of our state. As president, I attended many meetings held in Des Moines. With 175 miles between Burlington and Des Moines, the round-trip travel of 350 miles turned out to be my greatest challenge in serving. My key goal as president of the bar was to use my knowledge and expertise to update the bar's technology. During my time in office, we modernized the computers, networking, and the website. One of my proudest moments was serving on the committee that hired Dwight Dinkla as executive director of the Iowa State Bar Association. The experience I enjoyed the most during my bar presidency was meeting with then Chief Justice Arthur McGinvern in his humble office in the Wapello County Courthouse. His knowledge and counsel were invaluable. He is one of the people I admire the most. My biggest accomplishment was my contribution to the Electronic Document Management System, or EDMS. It started in October of 1998 when Justice McGivern in his office asked me to attend a conference on electronic filing in Kansas City. Over the next 15 years, I served on various committees of the judicial branch on electronic filing. These included committees regarding strategic planning, contracts, implementation, and evaluation. I co-chaired the Rules Committee. We overcame many obstacles to successfully install a cohesive EDMS system in all 99 counties. Young lawyers beginning practice today may never appreciate the savings in time and efficiency, not to mention the reduced need for physical storage that EDMS provides. I didn't accomplish any of these things alone, but working with other members of the bar, we accomplished a great deal. I encourage you to be active in the Bar Association to meet the current challenges and help make great things happen in the future.
Hello, my name is Bill Boyd, and I served as president of the Iowa State Bar Association from 2019 to 2020. In terms of activities that occurred during my year as president, we started the Lawyers in Libraries program, which was a joint effort with the state library, local libraries, and the Bar Association. And it basically is a program in which lawyers speak on different legal topics at their local libraries. In terms of other activities that we were involved in the 2019-2020 period, we traveled around the state to meet with our bar membership. Our deputy executive director, Harry Shipley, came up with the idea of Table for 10. And it was basically where bar officers and senior staff would meet with lawyers in different towns. And I believe that during a 2-year period, I, along with other officers, attended 23 events around the state, and it was an absolute delight to meet with lawyers, to report to them as to what the Bar Association was doing, what challenges they were facing, and what else the Bar Association could do to meet their needs. In terms of unexpected issues or challenges, we did have some. Most notably, the pandemic started during my term. So starting in March of 2020, the ISBA leadership became focused on what it was that we could do to assist Iowa lawyers who were faced with various challenges presented by the pandemic. The ISBA sponsored free seminars on important topics, such as running an office remotely. We also created a web page with resource material relating to the pandemic and legal issues associated with it. And then we also worked with the governor's office on having proclamations issued that address some pressing legal needs. In addition to that, the ISBA participated in the creation and operation of the COVID-19 free legal advice hotline. And this was a hotline where lawyers responded to calls from citizens in need of legal assistance. It has been an absolute pleasure to be involved with the Bar Association, and I would encourage anyone who has any interest in being involved to get involved. There are many opportunities, and I think you'll find it very beneficial. Thank you.
Hello, and welcome to the ISBA annual meeting. My name is Kevin Collins. I had the privilege of serving as the 117th president in 2003 and 2004. Congratulations on the ISBA's 150th anniversary. Few organizations have existed for 150 years, and your involvement in the ISBA is a testament to the enduring success of the bar. Enjoy the celebration, and I encourage each of you to remain involved and encourage others to get involved to contribute to the continued success of the Iowa State Bar Association. Thank you.
Greetings. I'm Guy Cook. I had the great fortune of serving as bar president of the Iowa State Bar Association in 2013, 2014. And it came after I had volunteered in the Polk County Bar Association, which led me to the ISBA. And I thought it was something to do to give back to the profession. I always thought it was important to give back. And I always saw learning the law and being a member of the bar as a real privilege. When I was bar president, it came a few years after the historic Varnum decision and the manipulation of the retention vote for justices. And that woke the bar up. And the bar became more engaged in public outreach and informing the public. And so when I became bar president, I wanted to build upon that to really engage the public in terms of judicial independence, why that's important, why it's important for everyone. And secondly, and perhaps even more important, is I wanted to focus on the next generation of lawyers because it's the future that matters, and making sure the ladder was down and the resources were there for the next generation. And we created the Blue Ribbon Commission, or Committee on Licensing and Legal Education, which came up with a lot of great ideas, and some were successful and others the Supreme Court said no to. But those were the things that we focused on when I was bar president in 2013.
Greetings, fellow Iowa lawyers. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Steve Eckley. I had the privilege of serving as bar president from 2017 to 2018. I was, I think, the lucky president because I was the last one to serve a full term before COVID. I'm very glad to have this opportunity to visit with you a little bit. This gives me a chance to say one more time to friends who chose to put me in the position of bar president. That was, outside of time with my family, the best experience of my life. So I'm very grateful. Hopefully some of you folks watching this video remember me from that time. But anyway, it was a great experience for me for a few different reasons. One, I think we did accomplish some good things for Iowa lawyers and Iowa citizens during that time. And I really enjoyed getting to meet so many proud Iowa lawyers. That was a true highlight. And it was fun because I had the support of the best bar association staff in the United States. So that made it a great experience. The only other message I'd like to leave with you now is to please continue to support the Iowa State Bar Association and let the Bar Association continue to support you. Check out the member benefits on the iowabar.org website. Other than that, I hope to see you in June at the annual meeting. Thanks.
All right, you can, ready?
Yep. In case you don't know me, my name is Joe Feller, and I'm a private practice attorney here in Sibley, Iowa. I'd like to say hello to everyone there celebrating the 150th anniversary of the Iowa State Bar Association. Wow, time flies. It's already been 10 years since I served as your president from 2014 to 2015. For 8 years, I was very active with the Bar Association. First, I served 4 years on the Board of Governors, and then 4 years as an officer. After 45 years of private practice here in Sibley, I can honestly say that those 8 years of service to the Iowa State Bar Association were the best years of my career. How did I do it? How did I drive 4.5 hours from Sibley to Des Moines and back? Who knows? All I know now is that it's much easier to just stay in Sibley, take care of my clients here in my office. You know, I encourage all of you to be very active with the Bar Association. I met countless lawyers and judges all over the state of Iowa while I was working with the Bar Association. We have the very best lawyers and judges in the country, I think. And you can do the same thing by being active in the Bar Association. Back in 2014, when I was president, I adopted a theme of back to basics. And during that year, we worked on the diploma privilege, implementation of EDMS. We worked on overhauling the probate court cost system. We worked on succession planning and courthouse security, just to name a few issues. It was a very busy year and the time went by very fast. My biggest accomplishment, I think, was bringing forward the issue of probate cost overhaul and making it a priority. We worked really hard on that, but you know, it took another 7 years to accomplish the result. After countless hours of our members' work, working with the Iowa Supreme Court and the Iowa legislature, we finally found and received a legislative solution, saving our clients thousands of dollars every year in probate. I'm very proud of that accomplishment. So again, let me say hello to everyone celebrating the 150th, and I hope you have a good week in June at Prairie Meadows.
Okay, well, let me talk about the fun things my year as the president of the bar. We moved from a building where we were a co-tenant with the Des Moines Metro Waste Management System. And the beauty of that was at least we were on the top floor and they were below us. But moving into this building was just one of the highlights of being part of the bar. I had 3 trials during my year as bar president, and 1 or 2 of them were without a legal assistant. That was kind of a challenge. One of the fun things was traveling to the different district meetings and county bar meetings, finding out what the different lawyers did in different locales to honor those who had died or to honor those who were doing well in the profession and that kind of thing. That was fun. The most fun thing about traveling was getting to know the other bar presidents from different states. But in our case, it was really learning to know Marion and Peggy Beatty so well. They were just wonderful people. He'd gone through the chairs before me, and so we traveled with them. Sharon and he had gone through the chairs of the defense council, so we traveled with them then, and they were just wonderful friends, and we still miss the heck out of Marion. Just a wonderful guy. And then one of the most interesting things that I had happen was in order to get Chief Justice Turnus to go up to Okoboji for the bench bar conference, I volunteered to fly them in my little airplane so they could get up there quickly and get them back quickly. We put the headsets on, and what they forgot was I could still hear what they were talking about. And so I got some real insight into how David Wiggins might be engineering things on the Iowa Supreme Court back in those days. And then my proudest thing about serving this bar association was going to the regional and national meetings and being able to talk about how well we all got along as lawyers, how well the bar association got along with the bench. At that time, we had a pretty good working relationship with the state government and the governor's office and things like that. So it was fun to go brag about what a great association we have here. It was a good year.
Greetings. My name is Judge Henry Hamilton III, and I served as the 136th president of the Iowa State Bar Association, the nation's oldest voluntary bar association. And it was perhaps one of the most fulfilling, personally, professionally fulfilling things I've done in my life. It was a great year. Although many of these programs I'm about to mention were implemented during my year, they were started by prior presidents. For one thing I remember, we instituted the first diversity, equity, inclusiveness officer. We started the member assistance program. We also started a program where we offered lower cost health insurance for Iowa law firms. We began an aggressive book publishing program, and those are some of the items that we did. Throughout the year, I tried to remind attorneys of the important role that we played in the formation of the nation and in the formation of our democracy as recognized in the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution. And then I also tried to remind attorneys of the role that we necessarily must play in the preservation of our nation and the preservation of democracy and those ideas for which the country was founded. And to end this, I'd like to refer to a quote by Amanda Gorman that she delivered for President Biden's inauguration speech. And she ends it by going, "There is always light, if only we are brave enough to see it, if only we are brave enough to be it." And we lawyers at ISBA are brave.
Hello, I'm Skip Kenyon from Creston, Iowa. I was honored to be president 2016. The immediate issue facing us as I took office was the retention election. 2010 had seen a retention election where 3 of our justices were removed from office. 2016, 3 more justices were on the ballot, including Chief Justice Mark Cady. Special effort was made to put together a committee that then went about the state and educated people on the importance of the retention election. Efforts were led by past President Guy Cook. The theme of my year was collegiality and camaraderie. I am from District 5B and was surprised to learn that not all districts have regular bar meetings. Our district meets at least once a year, sometimes twice. So I worked with the bar office. We made contacts at the different districts and attempted to reestablish and reinvigorate district bar meetings. This is probably even more important at this time in the post-COVID years to get people back together. The importance of being on the Board of Governors is the significance of the networking that develops. When you're on the board, you meet with and work with attorneys all over the state. Being an officer extends that even further in that you work with attorneys in neighboring states and across the country. As parting, I would say please support the mock trial system. It is tremendous. Iowa is the leader of the mock trials competitions, and we have hundreds, if not thousands, of kids participate in this program and has a lasting, long-time effect on their futures. I would like to thank you for allowing me to serve. It was a great experience. I would encourage anyone interested in trying and applying for it. You get tremendous support from the bar office, and it's just a tremendous experience. Thank you again for allowing me to serve.
Happy anniversary, Iowa State Bar Association. My name's Tom Levis. I was the 132nd president of the Iowa State Bar Association in the years 2018 and 2019. At the time I became president, I was well aware of the historic significance of the Iowa Bar. I knew it was the oldest volunteer bar in the nation. So when I became president, I was a little nervous. I asked my friend and executive director, Dwight Dinkla, for advice. And here's what Dwight told me. Tom, don't screw it up. Great. Well, I don't think I screwed it up. As far as I know, Iowa lawyers and Iowa judges have survived my leadership. But I can honestly tell you that my year as president of the Iowa Bar was the highlight of my legal career. During my presidency, we dealt with a number of issues affecting lawyers, such as diversity and inclusion, rural practice, artificial intelligence, lawyer wellness, law school debt, and many others. But I was particularly proud of how the Iowa State Bar Association and its members responded to political efforts to change how Iowa selects its judges. You see, in 2019, the governor proposed
changing Iowa's merit selection law, a nearly 50-year-old Iowa law whose purpose was to limit political influence in the selection of judges. The governor proposed changing the law to allow the governor to have complete control over the nominating commissions vetting new judges. The Iowa Bar Association decided to take a stand. At the time, one political party controlled the governor's office and both chambers of the legislature. We knew that defeating the governor's proposal would be difficult, but the Iowa Bar and its members mobilized and put up a monumental 5-month legislative battle. Lawyers from all over the state contacted legislators. They wrote letters to editors, and they made presentations to Iowa voters. The ISBA staff and the lobbyists did a remarkable job of coordinating everything. In the end, we were not 100% successful, but the governor's proposed plan was defeated. I could not have been prouder of the Iowa Bar and its loyal members.
Happy 150th anniversary, Iowa State Bar Association. As you can see from my favorite name tag, I am Jane Lorenzen and served as the Bar Association's president from 2009 through 2010. I was also privileged to serve as the second female president in the history of the Bar Association. I am a third-generation Iowa lawyer and a third-generation Board of Governor member. It was always ingrained in me. If you're going to be an Iowa lawyer, you need to be part of the Iowa State Bar Association. It has provided me with some of the most rewarding professional experiences of my career. I would highly encourage everyone to become a member of the Iowa State Bar Association.
I am J.C. Salvo. I am happy to be with you today and congratulate the Iowa State Bar on its 150th anniversary. It's hard to believe how much time has passed and how much we've grown. I had the privilege of being your president in 2005 and 2006, which seems like a long time ago, but as we go forward, the Bar Association gets stronger and better every year. Again, thank you for all coming. Congratulations and best wishes to all Bar Association attendees. Thank you.
Hello, friends. My name's Bill Shirley, and I was president of the Iowa State Bar Association in 1997 and 98. I use the word friends because if you are viewing this, I believe we both share the love of our country, our civil rights, our freedoms, and a sincere optimism for the future. This video is being used to celebrate the 150th anniversary of the Iowa State Bar Association. I personally will reach my 50th year of practice next year. Having been a lawyer for almost 1/3 of the bar's 150 years of service to its citizens of Iowa, I wanted to share my experience and perspective with you. As president of the Iowa Bar in 1997 and 98, I had the sincere privilege and honor to work with and serve the most professional, ethical, hardest working, and client-focused attorneys and judges in the nation. In fact, I often said I had wished that every lawyer in the state could be president of the Iowa Bar Association simply for a day to fully appreciate the character and dedication of the bar membership. We can never forget law is a people profession. Everything a lawyer does is done for and on behalf of the people he and she represents. As a people profession, law by definition is also built on relationships. Relationships are made, however, they're not born. They're developed and strengthened through person-to-person contact and involvement. Technology has put the relationships necessary to the practice of law in jeopardy. We must continue to develop our relationships for an ordered society. We must continue to develop and maintain those relationships at all times. All of us must resist the temptation to surrender to the efficiencies and convenience of technology. Thank you for your attention and in helping me celebrate the 150th anniversary of the Iowa Bar Association. Go hug a lawyer.
I'm Jerry Schnurr. I'm a lawyer from Fort Dodge, Iowa. I was president of the Iowa State Bar Association in 2020, 2021. Every president comes in with a plan and an agenda, and you have certain things you wanted to do. I wanted to focus on civics education and try to get into the schools. But every president also has things that are unplanned that kind of take over your presidency. Mine was the COVID-19 pandemic. And so we switched real quick to everything online. We did not have in-person meetings. We did, though, pivot, and thankfully we have a staff at the Bar Association that's amazing. And we were able to partner with Iowa Legal Aid and provide education and training for lawyers to advise clients as all the changes were coming out of the governor's office, the president's office, changes regarding housing, employment, and so forth. And so I think one of the big things we did was pivot and provide education to our lawyers in the state of Iowa to better serve the people of Iowa during the pandemic and all the issues they were facing. The second thing I want to bring up is that we did learn how to use technology, and one of the things that I enjoyed was being able to participate in a Zoom Christmas party with the Dubuque County Bar Association, full with drinks of our choice and hors d'oeuvres and snacks. And that was a real special time, because one of the great values of a bar association is being able to get together with other lawyers and just get to know other lawyers and spend time with them. So I would encourage anybody to become active in their bar association and other organizations like that. Thank you.
As I begin my year as president in June of 2024, it is my intent to continue the great work of the Iowa State Bar Association and the support of attorneys, the clients that they serve, and their communities. Of course, it is the important role of the ISBA to support and serve the judiciary. During my year, I aspire to be a thought leader and an advocate on issues affecting civics, civility, and democracy, as those principles affect the legal profession and the courts. I will encourage our members, the public, and state elected officials to fully support and fund our state courts, which are among the best in the country. Finally, my work will be guided by doing what is in the best interest of the Iowa State Bar Association. Congratulations to the Iowa State Bar Association on its 150th anniversary.
Hello, welcome. I'm John Shores. I graduated from law school in 1964, some time ago. I have been active in the Bar Association and a believer in the things that can be accomplished by the bar. I'm a past president. But the thing I think is so great about the Bar Association is it teaches lawyers to know each other, respect each other, and be able to have confidence in each other, whether they're on the same side of something or on opposite sides. I highly recommend your being involved in the bar. It also is a way of improving the community, improving the law, and really improving a lot of things. It's interesting to me, as I was thinking about it, the Iowa Bar has been in existence now 150 years. My family has been practicing law in Iowa for 144 years at this point, and counting. So the family tree is my great-grandfather, 1880, my grandfather, my father, myself, two sons who are lawyers, and one of their children who's going to law school. It's a long run.
Hi, I'm Angie Schutz. I served as the State Bar President in the years 2021 through 2022. I'm a lawyer at Whitfield and Eddy in Des Moines. I decided to run as Vice President for the State Bar because I had somebody who encouraged me. But I would be honest that up until that point, I wasn't sure that I was state bar material. But I would also say that I had bemoaned many times over the years about the lack of women in ISBA leadership. So I decided to do something about it. And so I ran, and I would tell you that it will be one of the highlights of my career. I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about leadership. I'm glad I did it at the age that I was at the time. I had been in practice for about 25 years at the time, and is still very active in the practice. And so I'm really appreciative of the opportunity to serve as state bar president. I would also say and encourage, especially young women, to think about being a part of the state bar leadership. We all need to be represented at the state bar, and you can't be represented if you're not going to raise your hand and join. So I would encourage you to think about doing that. Thanks.
Bob Waterman, past president, 2011 to 2012. I began my presidency at an interesting time. It was the first time that we'd had 3 justices of the Iowa Supreme Court were not retained because of a decision by the Iowa Supreme Court. So the most of my year as president was spent trying to market, if you will, to the public the importance of fair and impartial law and judges and the court of law and how we handle things in Iowa to try to prevent that from happening again. In other words, explain to the members of the state why it is that judges do what they do, what is the rule of law, and the importance of following the rule of law, not what happens to be popular or unpopular at the time. My brother happened to be one of the new justices that began the same year I served as president. It was fun to have him swear me in as president of the Iowa State Bar Association. I also spoke at his investiture. I come from a family of lawyers. My son was in law school at the time, and he spoke at my investiture. And I had a very exciting time as president of the Iowa State Bar Association, and I look back on it very fondly with the time that I spent, and so appreciate the friends and the many supporters I had that encouraged me to run when I was unsure of doing so, and for my family for supporting me throughout. Thank you.